as we look at this field. And I tell you, there's nothing worse than not going to the starting line when you're ready. You know, these guys do their warm-up, then they have to go to what's called the call room, where they sit on a chair for up to a half hour. They get to come out on the track, and now they've been standing around out here.
And could you do some lip reading of Zach Seddon of Great Britain? He said, yes, finally, as the men's 3,000 steeplechase final begins.
Kipruto to the front. And you said it best, the Kenyan team wants to run as a team. That chatter that was going on during the race was all about that. It was Kipruto saying to his countryman, Benjamin Keegan, hey, let's get through this. Let's not expend too much energy. Keep an eye on the big screen. We're going to qualify. We're going to dominate in the final. And by the way, a lot of interest in this race because of the number of African guest workers that work here in Doha. 2:43 for the second kilometer. So I misspoke earlier. It wasn't 9-minute pace, 8-minute pace, or just over it. Now they've stepped off the gas a little bit with about 2 laps to go, as the Ethiopians were sharing the leading duties. And Kipruto says, I've had enough of this. I'm going to take the lead.
And he's looking around. He's trying to see where his teammates are, the other Kenyans. And he's been elbowing and shoving, and there's been some pushing with the Ethiopians. Now El Bakali comes up into third alongside Kipruto as Wale goes back into the lead.
Yeah, the Kenyans and the Ethiopians have to be careful. If they focus too much on one another, El Bakali, who's not involved with any of that emotion, is a great technician over the last lap. He could run by all of them. And look at Hillary Bohr back in the chase.
Bohr has stuck with this top 5 or 6 all race long. Badrani is there, Bent is there, and they're coming to the bell lap. Watch the fireworks on this final lap.
And I like what Kipruto says about this. He says from lap 4 onwards, each barrier seems higher than the previous one. They seem like they're 10 feet tall over the last lap. Imagine trying to sprint and clear the 36-inch barriers in a all-out sprint. Here we go.
Kipruto is the defending world champion, the reigning Olympic champion. He sits third. He trains in a grass field in Kenya with a dirt track. And here he is in front of the world trying to defend that title. But El Bakali set a pace to chase now on this final lap.
And this is smart by El Bakali to try to get out ahead here. Kipruto normally has the blazing finish, but remember, he's missed a lot of training time this year with the broken foot. And here comes Girma.
Girma takes the lead. Kipruto, the final journey over the water jump. And now it's going to be a sprint home. Girma of Ethiopia, Kipruto of Kenya. He so desperately wants the title to stay with Kenya, but he's got to sprint home. It's Lemeka Girma, but here comes Kipruto. Kipruto to the line. It's close. It's a photo finish. The Ethiopian and the Kenyan. Who gets it?
Remember, it's the shoulder that matters. Usually the guy who's coming from behind looks like he's taken it. And I was looking straight down at the finish line, and it's just too close to call at this point. What a charge. What a courageous run by Conselsus Kipruto as they're waiting and waiting to see the outcome.
I think Kipruto's got it. Kipruto's got it. And it was by 1/100th of a second. 3,000 meters is decided by 1/100th of a second. This was a closer winning margin than the women's 100.
And I think Girma leaned too early. That was his problem. He was a bit out of control over these closing strides, and he staggers to the finish line, whereas Kipruto times it right and dips right at the finish line. Look at this deficit that Kipruto had to overcome. And remember, there's one hurdle for them to go over. Girma definitely seemed to have this race in hand. He cleared well, a little bit high over the hurdle. and he was sprinting well. But the guts shown by Kipruto, I don't know where he found this fitness. And I guarantee you he never practiced that lean. But the determination and national pride came together at that finish line.
Defends his world championship. El Bakkali of Morocco, by the way, got third and bronze. And Kipruto did what he intended.